Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto. Hope you're having a great day. We've got several things to cover today. A few of them are really, really good. One of them is just kind of newsworthy, something to pay attention to. Cardano. Told you not to sleep on Cardano. What's it doing? It's making major TVL moves. We'll dive into that. Iran is having some energy issues because of crypto mining, illegal crypto mining. So they've got answers for that. Adobe has tapped Polygon to help it increase their NFT platform known as Behance so that you'd be able to mint directly from Behance and drop it right on OpenSea using the cheaper platform, which is Polygon versus Ethereum. That's huge. Terra LUNA. Terra LUNA is making huge moves. Terra LUNA has blasted through 100. It's bouncing around there, but I told you it was going to blast through 100, and it has. It's going up as high as 104 thus far. I'm pretty sure it'll go higher than that. I think there's a lot of room for it to go. And like I said before, I think you should get in. At least I'm thinking I should get in. You have South Korea. They've elected a brand new president, and he is quite crypto happy. So I'm expecting some pro crypto regulation to come out of South Korea in the coming future. You have the UAE about to drop. They're really close to dropping new regulations rather for cryptocurrencies. That's coming from a regulator in the space. And you have the European Commission actually bringing some clarity to their sanctions against Russia. And yes, it includes cryptos. But you know what? Let's dig in. So Cardano introduced the ability for TVLs back in January. Since then, it has tacked on about 70 million, give or take, almost $70 million in total value locked. And that's, in addition to, SundaeSwap and a few of its other DeFis that are on there. That's actually big news. That would make it right now, right now, they're close to $200 million in total value locked. Last week, they were at 130. So that's huge. Those are huge jumps that are happening with Cardano. And like I keep telling you, there's more to come with Cardano. They've got a lot more coming. And that's all going to be positive. So I think when we're done with this macro event, Cardano is just going to take off. That's all I can see right there is that they will eventually take off. There are a few coins out there, a few projects that I think are going to do really, really, really well. Iran is grappling with mining problems. There are a lot of illegal crypto mining farms that are popping up all over Iran. They're willing to issue, they've come out with new regulations. They're willing to issue licenses, but only to those companies that they approve that are absolutely getting their energy from renewable sources. The problem with that is that they have not listed out any renewable sources or even where they are, even if they exist. So I think that's going to be tough. And I think they'll be grappling with this problem for a time to come. So that's something to think about. We have Adobe. This brought huge smiles to my face because Adobe has tapped Polygon, a cheaper layer 2 network that's meant to actually bring some scaling abilities to Ethereum, and they got tapped directly by Adobe to increase the scale and increase some of the features that they have on their Behance platform, mainly to be able to create and mint an NFT and drop it directly on OpenSea. And that's at much cheaper rates than going on Ethereum. So that I think is a hugely big deal. I think it's a big deal not just for Polygon, but I think it's also a big deal for OpenSea as well. Then you have Terra LUNA is, like I said before, Terra LUNA is just blowing up. Just totally blowing up. I mean, to hit $100 and then not just to hit $100, but hit $104. And that means you're hitting 100 solidly. So even if they took a dip, they're going to be in the 90s. But I think they have tons of upward movement that they're going to hit. And that's going to be useful. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, there's upward movement. They were down a lot before, not down, but they were at a lower number before. And it's just growing. So might as well get in if I think that there's nothing more than upside to it, right? So that's what I'm thinking about right there. South Korea. Amazeballs. So South Korea elected this guy as president, a very controversial person. They call him K Trump. I hate saying that word, just coming out there. But he is very controversial, but he's very pro crypto. So I'm expecting I'm expecting in the near future, or at least in the coming future, that they're going to have very crypto positive regulations that come through South Korea. And if it works out to his to his dreams, it would wind up making South Korea a very much a crypto hub. But like I said, he's controversial. I mean, you get elected, and right after getting elected, the most searched for term, immigrate to Canada. that's not a good look. It's not a good look. Still, for crypto, that's a good thing, but I think there are a lot of people scratching their heads and having some serious thoughts. I mean, he one of the pledges that he had was to actually abolish the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. And it means exactly what you think it means, looking out for equality for women and different genders and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be special. But that's something to look out for. Because I don't know if you realize, but South Korea is a very tech savvy kind of country. They really are. So if they're that tech savvy and they start getting into crypto, any kind of positive regulation, I think, would automatically draw people in and make South Korea a crypto hub. UAE is making some moves with their regulations, and they're saying, well, if you're a virtual asset service provider, we're going to have some new regulations for you, and they're very, very close. So that's a good thing. So you're looking at a lot of countries over the past few days. I've been telling you about a lot of countries, including the United States, that are saying, hey, time to regulate, not time to get rid of, which is the positive, time to regulate. That's a totally different tone than, oh, I hate cryptos, or cryptos are bad and blah, blah. No. It's time to regulate cryptos, because the reality is cryptocurrencies are not going to go away. You can't make them go away. So if you can't make them go away, there's a saying, can't beat them, join them. So this is a way that countries would be able to join them, add some regulation around them, like anti-money laundering, anti-terror financing, those kinds of things attached to it, and you can do a lot with crypto. So I think that's a really great thing. And then you have finally the European Commission saying, hey, the fact is we're all done with these sanctions. We're not done with the sanctions, but we're done, having people wonder about the cryptocurrency part of the sanctions. Guess what? They've added clarity to that, and cryptocurrencies are definitely on the table. So if you thought you were going to use, if you're Russian and you thought you were going to use cryptocurrencies, within the European Commission's, purview to kind of skate around the sanctions, yeah, nah, that's not going to happen. And I think over the past few days, you've also seen that, Coinbase has kicked up, 25,000 addresses, that they believe have been used, for nefarious reasons, that all stem from Russia. And he said, here, United States, here are the addresses that we're talking about. So I'm pretty sure those have been shared around the world. And you start to realize that, it's going to be harder and harder for people from Russia to actually leverage cryptos to skirt around the sanctions. And I think that's a cool thing. Let's get to the numbers, because, it's high time. So we'll do this, do that, come over here. And what we have here is, let's just refresh to make sure, because I think I refreshed earlier today and I haven't refreshed again. And I just want to make sure that we're looking at the right numbers. There you go. So 28 out of 100. We're still deep in fear, but not extreme fear. Close enough to it, but not extreme fear. Like I said, I think we're going to be maneuvering in this space for a time to come, until everything is worked out with regard to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, right? Then you have, here's a look at the charts right now for Bitcoin, and you can see there was a nice pop up, right? It was getting close to the 43,000 level, 42 and a half. But then it came right back down, and it's bouncing around this same space. Again, I think for a time to come, whether we have a nice little pop like this one was, I think for a time to come, until that macro event, gets solved, we're going to be bouncing in the same space for a while. You'll get nice little pops and it'll come back down. You get nice little pops, it'll come back down. And right now, I think that like I told you before, I've got wallets that I use to trade and I have wallets that I use to hodl. And, this was the perfect trading opportunity when it popped up. Shave off some profit, because it's not profit unless you take it. So shave off some profit, let it come back down, buy back in, and keep on going. That's how you can actually build up a wallet doing that, or build up your bank account doing that. I have a friend of mine, and what they do is they shave off profit and they keep that as cash. They shave off profit and keep it as cash. I like to shave off profit, keep some as cash, but put back in what I can put back in, when everything comes back down, because now I'm able to purchase more. And that's the idea. So pay attention to what's going on out there. There's a lot going on out there. If we take a look at this space right here, everything's red at the moment, but you're not expecting things to bounce too high. You're not expecting things to bounce too low, but you do see what I was talking about right here with Terra LUNA, right? It's at 101. That's huge, almost 101 and a half. Again, I think there's a lot of positive upward movement for Luna that's still to come. And I think it'll be that way for a long time. I do see BTC down 5.93%. That's a nice big chunk. You see ETH still at 2,600. It's still sale time. Again, I keep saying, BTC is, $30,000 off of its high. That's a big number. That's a really big number. So there's a lot of upside to where it can go from this point forward. So that you pay attention to things like that. Pay attention to these opportunities, because in 3 to 6 months, you'll turn around and you look at that and go, wow, I remember when it was only at this number, and it'll be up. At least that's what I'm thinking. That's what my time frame is. I'm looking longer term than that. I'm looking at years and not just months. But even in years, I think it's going to be huge jumps. There's some people saying, oh, well, with other cryptos coming up, from the altcoin section, BTC and ETH might have problems. True, but I think they're always going to grow, and I think they're always going to be there. And I think those are really big ideas. All right. So looking at, we haven't done this for a while. How about we take a look at the portfolio and see where we're at with that? It's always the wrong portfolio. There you go. This is the portfolio I want to look at. So as I look at this portfolio, I'm just saying, yeah, we're down. We've been down for a while. I mean, look at the performance of this portfolio at 24.21, negative 24.21. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. But guess what? This is a fictitious portfolio, but this is where we should be buying. If we're actively managing this portfolio, we should be buying. My question is, what would you want to buy? I know what I want to buy, and I've said previously what I want to buy. I would like to know what you want to buy. So do me a favor, hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, drop me a note, and don't forget to hit the bell, because I was traveling yesterday and I was unable to make a video yesterday, but I made one today. And if you'd have subscribed and hit the notification bell, you'd have known about it. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Hope you have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.